All right. Big welcome, everyone. If you're here today because you are ready to 10x your sales with the new model for hyper growth in 2025, comment sales in the chat below. Big welcome. So thrilled to have you all here. And we are going to really deliver a treat for you these next couple of days. We have spent months and months working on developing a new model for hyper growth. And if you know anything about myself, my companies, my team, we were one of the first female-led companies in the online space to scale past 8 figures without investors, outside funding, loans, any of those things. And we've helped countless other people to build 6, 7, and 8-figure businesses online. We specialize in helping entrepreneurs like you make daily sales. My name is Kelly Roach, and my companies have been featured back to back on the Inc. 5000 list as the fastest growing companies in America. And our dream is helping you make yours come true. So if you are here today because you want to 10x your sales, comment 10x in the chat if you are ready to learn this new strategy for how you're going to multiply and duplicate your sales. So I say new strategy for a very specific reason, not because I'm trying to present the next bright, shiny object. I share that because I think everyone that is alive and well in the world of entrepreneurship is very clear at this point that the market has radically shifted. The rules of the game have changed, and a new approach is needed to meet the market where they are and to create valuable offers at a price point with the right strategy that gets people to raise their hand and say yes and pull out their credit card. And we have spent the last year plus teaching people about the concepts of Miracle Hour, Dream 1000, how to create a trust building offer that removes the friction in the sales process so that you can lower your cost per acquisition. And this is one of the most important things that drives the profitability of any company is how much does it cost you in both time, energy, and money to acquire a sale. And so we've spent the last year teaching the online market about delivering trust building offers that you can get paid to create that make it a total no brainer for your absolute dream clients to raise their hands and say yes to start working with you without needing sales calls, without needing tons of ad spend, or without needing a big team. Now, today we are unveiling publicly for the very first time where it goes from there, right? Because the whole point of a trust building offer is to bring people into your ecosystem. But what happens after you nail the trust building offer? What happens after you acquire the client? Well, that's what we're here to talk about today. And when we named this how to 10x your sales by the end of the year, that wasn't a platitude. That was actually us revealing the strategy that we're going to spend the next 5 days teaching you, which is about what do you do to multiply, duplicate, and scale a customer's spend once you acquire them. So part one of the system is you have to have the right trust building offer. But what we're here to work on this week is part two. And part two is how do you take that new customer and get them to be such a raving fan of the brand that they keep spending over and over again happily because they're getting extraordinary results, because you're changing their life, because you're making a difference, and because they now have established trust with you. Comment trust if you want to be the category of one leader in your space. Comment trust if you want to be the category of one leader in your space. I know that you all do. That's why you're here. You don't think in the terms of 10x unless you want to do something big, you want to do something bold, you want to create amazing levels of success, and you want to bring other people with you. Is there anyone here that's like me that wants to do something amazing in the world where you just bring hundreds of thousands of people along with you and that you are using your gifts to glorify God and make the biggest difference in the world humanly possible by being of service to others? Is there anyone that shares that mission, vision, and goal that I have? Is there anyone here that shares that mission, vision, and goal that I have? Yes, I have the right people here today. I see you. I see you. I'm so happy. That's so awesome. Good. I'm so happy that you're here for the same reason, because this is the thing. Monetary success is amazing. It is fun to make millions of dollars, but it is empty if that is not driving positive change and contribution in the world. And what we're going to talk about today is how you build trust and you bring people in with these trust building offers, but then you pivot them into your upsell machine and you take them into a very systematic, very fun process of duplicating and multiplying that sale. And every time your customer spends more money with you, they get bigger and better results. They're more bought into your brand. They are happier because they are seeing the result that they want to see in the way that you are of service. And so it is a win, win, win. It's a win for you. It's a win for your company. It's a win for your clients. And that is what we want. We want simultaneous promotion of all interests in everything that we do. So the biggest thing that is going to ultimately drive the profitability of your company is going to be lifetime value of a customer. That's the biggest thing. Oh, by the way, we gave you an amazing workbook for today. So go ahead and open that up now because we have a lot to cover and you're definitely going to want to take notes on everything that we share here today because just this free masterclass alone is probably going to be worth more than the last few things that you spent money on. So if anyone doesn't have the workbook, just comment workbook now. Just comment workbook now, and the team is going to put that link right there in the chat for you. But you are going to want to go ahead and get that out and get ready to start taking notes because I have quite a bit to cover today. And Danielle Ceballos is going to be joining us any minute to share some things with you as well. Okay, so you should be opening your workbook now. And what we're going to walk through today is how do you multiply the lifetime value of your customer? Write that down. How do you multiply the lifetime value of your customer? The hardest and most expensive thing to do in any business is to get a new customer. The most profitable thing to do is to multiply and duplicate their spend with you. Everybody write it down. So instead of you having to go out and get thousands and thousands of customers to make millions of dollars, you instead focus on acquiring maybe a few hundred customers, and then you multiply and duplicate the amount of money that they spend with you. So they stay longer, they spend more, and they refer more often. So the reason why we say how to 10x at rocket speed with the new model for hypergrowth is that we're teaching you basically the exact opposite of what we taught to hundreds of thousands of people for almost a decade straight in the last era. And the last era was an era of the economy expanding, of the market moving very quickly, a lot of cash injections in the market. People were buying high ticket direct from live launches. It was a very different era. So we sold very differently and the strategy looks different. Every time there's a cycle change, you need to update your strategy to simply match the cycle that you're in. So today is the reveal of what happens next after you get that trust building offer going. Where do you go from there? How do you multiply and duplicate that? How do you take that small incremental win that you just got and turn it into a big win, a life-changing win to 10x your sales and to multiply your profits? So the key thing is that there are 4 levers. Someone comment in the chat for me. There are 4 levers. 4 levers to 10x and to create hyper growth in your business. And obviously this sits on the foundation of everything that we've been teaching you and talking about ad nauseum on every live stream, every masterclass, every launch, every podcast for over a year now, which is Miracle Hour, Dream 1000, and the Trust Building Offer. This sits on top of it. This is your next step. This is for people that want to run $2 million, $5 million, $10 million businesses that really want to scale fast. Okay. The first lever is live selling. Okay. And this looks really different than it did in the last era. In the last era, we primarily focused on 9-day live launches. And over the last few years, when you were selling high ticket, in many instances, you were not only doing 9 days of a live launch, you were then moving people into an application and even a phone call, and then moving them into a high ticket. Now, this is a beautiful model. It worked exceptionally well. Many of our clients, myself included, made millions of dollars doing this, and it was wonderful in that season. But that model also has some downsides. One, there's limitations to how much you can scale because obviously it's very, very expensive to run a business that way. You need a lot of staff, you need a lot of infrastructure, you need a lot of ad spend. So it wasn't for everyone. And also 9 days, it feels like a lot to some people, right? I love live launching. I love teaching on camera. It's the joy of my life to be here with you today, but not everybody feels that way. And I understand that. So now in this new era, in this new cycle change, this new season change, what is exhilarating and so exciting, and I want you to all catch the vision of today, is that live selling has taken a completely different form because you're using live selling in a different way. It's lighter, it's faster, it's easier, it's less expensive, it's a lighter lift. And I can't wait to walk you through all the components of it. But what you need to know is that is going to be the first pillar of this 10x model. But the really good news for all of you is that instead of live launching for 9 days and having an application and then a phone call and maybe having to do 5, 10, 15 follow-ups to get someone into your high ticket offer, you're going to do something called a light launch, which is maybe going to be 3 days, no phone calls, no applications. You don't need a lot of ad spend. You don't need a big team. You don't need any of that. So you're going to light launch. You're going to use master classes. You're even going to use single live streams. And the fourth thing is you're going to use info sessions, because ultimately you're going to make almost 100% of your high ticket sales now from your trust building clients. So the whole model has literally flipped upside down, and we've moved your high ticket to position 2 or position 3. But the beautiful thing is it's faster and easier to close people this way because you're talking to your own clients and you're doing simple things like info sessions or light launches, which require about 1/20th of the time, energy, expense, and effort of a full 9-day live launch. Okay. So you're going to use live streaming, live selling, master classes, light launches, and info sessions to do 2 things. One, you're going to sell your trust builder directly. So you're going to use it as a customer acquisition tool. And 2, you're going to use it to talk to primarily your own clients to upsell them into your mid and high ticket. In many instances, replacing completely the need for phone calls. Okay. So your life just got so much easier as an entrepreneur, and it just became so much less expensive to acquire a high ticket client. That is what I will say to you all is like, when you get to the other side of implementing this model, you're going to be like, I can't believe I ever did it any other way, because it's simpler. You have more freedom. You take back your time. It's less expensive. It's less arduous, and it's a whole lot of fun. Okay. So the first pillar is going to be live selling. Live selling, where you don't need to do all of those rounds of follow up. You're going to sell directly on the spot. Number 2 is going to be your upsell machine. Now, your upsell machine is really where that 10x is going to happen. Okay. And there's 4 core components of your upsell machine. And your upsell machine's job is basically that as a customer comes in, you're going to help them get that big win in the first 30 days, but they are getting plugged into a system that is driving the continuity of them making purchases with you over and over again in ways that specifically increase their ROI. They are getting better results, they are getting faster results, and they are getting bigger results. I want you all to write that in the chat, because we have to remember that ultimately our entire brand reputation hinges on us delivering on our promise and us putting our customer first. So every offer that we make, every dollar that we have a client spend, everything that we create, it should all be funneling right back to how is this going to help your client get bigger, better, faster results, and how is it going to build brand? Now, your upsell machine is going to also have 4 key components. Okay. And these are components that are going to run 24/7 in your business on a nonstop cycle. And these are things that are going to be primarily driven by your email list, by your text message list, and by making offers to your own customers, which means that it's a frictionless sale. It doesn't require a phone call. It doesn't require additional ad spend. It is something where you can literally send a text and within minutes see a sale. You can send an email, within minutes see a sale. And there's certain things that are necessary to make this upsell machine work, which we're going to talk about when Danielle comes on next. We're going to talk about audience growth and audience monetization. The more you grow your audience, the more you can monetize your audience. And the bigger you build your audience, the faster your upsell machine is going to grow. Your upsell machine is going to have 4 core components. Is everybody tracking with me? Say tracking if you're tracking with me. Is everybody getting notes down? You guys getting notes on what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting out? Let me know. Let me know. You're tracking with me. Everybody's good? Okay. Let's talk about the 4 components of your upsell machine. Number 1 is what I call an instant offer. Instant offers are offers that you use feedback loops in your own business to make. So, what you do is, as people are coming into any of your new offers and they're buying from you, you are soliciting feedback from people. And they got what they invested in, but then maybe they have something they would love even more help with, or that they need, that they're a little bit stuck on, or that they'd love to have a little bit hands on support on, or maybe there's a key question that keeps coming up over and over again. An instant offer is where you take a direct feedback loop based on your own customers. You instantly turn around an offer and you sell it to the very people that just told you that they need it. It's that easy. And the reason why I call them instant offers is that it's usually something that you can deliver instantly, because it's based on either answering questions, giving support, providing a next level of implementation, giving a walkthrough. It's something tangible and tactical that you could literally book a phone call and sell 10 people into it tomorrow. Boom, that's an instant offer. That is something that you can be doing all week long, all year long, every day of the week, and it's a frictionless sale. That's an instant offer. The next one is called an accelerator offer. And an accelerator offer is exactly what I just described. When I said earlier that when you ask your customers to stay longer and spend more money with you and to buy another offer, the goal is that you're getting them bigger results faster. Bigger results faster. Okay. So, what I want you thinking about with accelerator offers is, if someone comes into one of your trust building offers and you give them certain things to focus on in the first 30 days, and the goal is to help them get that first breakthrough, what are the things that you can sell them that complement that are going to help them get bigger results faster? It's deepening and strengthening them becoming a raving fan of the brand. It's multiplying and duplicating their spend with you. And everyone wins, because your client gets bigger results faster and you just duplicated and multiplied the value of the sale. Okay. So the second core component of the accelerator offer of the upsell machine is going to be your accelerator offers. So you have instant offers based on your feedback loops. You have accelerators that are basically add-ons that help people get the results in the program even faster. Okay. You're going to have upsells, which are going to be continuously moving people into your mid-ticket and your high-ticket solutions, which you can do going back to part 1 of the first power lever that I gave you. You can do that with simple info sessions. We just did that in a new offer, and 46 people were excitedly ready and said yes immediately to up level into that next solution. So info sessions is a great way to do that. And then, of course, downsells. So once you are getting people that are prospective customers coming to your light launch, going back to part number 1, you can start them with a downsell offer, because in some instances, I'll give an example. Let's say that you've decided that your trust building offer is going to be a membership. We also have our trust building offer as a membership, but we have many trust building offers, not just one. And that's when it gets really, really fun, because you're so in tune with your market. You're so lock in step with your customers that you're creating things as instant offers that become new trust builders constantly, that you're creating them already knowing that a whole bunch of people are going to buy them, because you're not creating in theory. You're not creating in a vacuum. You are literally curating things based on what you already know your people are asking you if they can buy from you. Do you guys see how much fun this becomes? Do you see how you can 10x so quickly? Because you're not reaching, you're not hoping, you're not wishing, you're not praying, you're not just throwing things out into the universe. You are literally talking to your own customers, and you are creating things that you can instantly turn around and move them into. So part 1 of your upsell machine is instant offers. That's based on your feedback loops. Part 2 are accelerators. Their job is to get your clients bigger results faster in the trust builder that they already paid for. Part 3 is your upsell. Obviously, that's moving people into your mid-ticket or your high-ticket solutions. That goes back to part 1 that we already talked about, which is info sessions. I am so excited about this model because it is so light. It is so simple. It is so fun. And you're talking to the right people because they are already your buyers. Can you guys imagine if every time you went live to try and go sell something, or every time you did a launch, or every time you planned a sales event, if you already knew you were going to get sales because you were talking to your own buyers and they love you and they want to work with you and they trust spending money with you because they're already getting results? This is the world that we're introducing to you today. This is a completely different universe. We came from cold to close in 9 days. We ran ads to live launches for $30,000 products for almost 10 years. Okay. So that's a very different lift when you are trying to take someone from, I don't know your name, to spending $30,000 in 9 days. The model we're introducing today is like, hey, go talk to some of your own customers, make them an offer for something that they already told you that they wanted, and then invite them to make the decision by sending them a link via DM. That's a different world to live in. When you look at your stress level as an entrepreneur, and when you look at what you're carrying on an everyday basis, I am here to tell you, because now I've done both, right? Now I've gotten to sit in both of these models for long enough to have this conversation. I tell Danielle every day, I feel like I'm aging in reverse. I'm like, I cannot believe that this world even exists where we live this way, right? And it takes work to set up. And we've been doing this for months and months now. So we did not bring this to the market right away. We had to sit in this model for ourselves for months before we brought this to you, which is why we're having the conversation today. But that is the third part, is the upsells. And that's going to move people obviously into your mid-ticket and your high-ticket solutions. A lot of people get really confused when they hear us talking about the trust builders, because they're like, wait, what's happening to my one-on-one? What's happening to my mastermind? What's happening to my high-ticket coaching program? Nothing. Except you don't have the pressure to sell it every day anymore because you have all these other sales coming in from all these different ways. So what happens to those programs is you decide. You're the CEO of your business. You're the CEO of your life. Some of our clients are folding those programs because they're making money and they're having so much fun. And it's such a lighter model to do what we're doing here today that they don't want to do that anymore. Other people are just using this model as a way to build those programs. This is choose your own adventure, and it works either way. And we're not here to tell you right versus wrong. We're here to say, here's an invitation to the new model that our clients are using to create hypergrowth. It's already working. We did all the legwork. We spent the money. We spent the time. We had the sleepless nights. We had all the failures. We had all the losses. We had all the stress. And we're here to basically serve that to you on a silver platter and say, you know what? You don't need to go through all those things that we did to figure this out, because we already did. And the proof is not in our own results, because of course it's working for us. The proof is in our client results, which is why now I'm on my team like every single day. I'm like, Krista, I need you to put that more in my stories. Like I'm telling her every day, like put all these wins and all these success stories in our stories every single day. You might have noticed that we're putting so many more client results out every day now, because my mind is blown. And I actually can't believe how fast, when this clicks for someone, that they can transform their business and change their life. And I just want to say to all of you here today that this is available for you. This is available for any single person here today that is willing to say, like, I am open and I am ready and I believe and I know that the possibility for hyper growth is sitting there and waiting for me. But it's about adapting your model, meeting the market where they are, and bringing the right kind of solutions at the right time. The final part of your upsell machine, and then I'm going to turn it over to Danielle, is the downsell, right? Because you will at times be selling your mid and your high ticket. And you will at times even have potentially, like I mentioned earlier, maybe you have a membership, but maybe someone doesn't want to invest in an ongoing product. So you might downsell them a one-time thing as a way to warm them up and get them ready to make that next investment. Okay. So for anyone that doesn't know Danielle Cevallos, just a quick little bit on her: professional copywriter before she joined my team, master's in education, my right-hand gal building my first company from 7 to 8 figures. Once we crossed over 8 figures, I asked Danielle to step out and to help me build several of the other companies in the portfolio. We have 6 companies in the portfolio. Now she's the president of Kelly Roach International, and she is going to walk you all through something that she is really an expert in, that she is spearheading and really leading our organization in, and of course, our clients in our marketing agency in. So, Danielle, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Hey everyone, I am excited to be here with you today because there's so many good things happening. There's a lot to break down in a little bit of time, but just for everybody's kind of background and understanding, my sort of lens through which I look at all of business is always like a marketing lens. It's just the way my brain thinks. It's how I have helped clients traditionally in the past. It's how, we were able to build our marketing agency. So I am going to help you focus on kind of the front end machine, right? So Kelly really talked about what drives live selling and that whole back end upsell process, which is magically wonderful. But I want to talk about something that nobody ever talks about. And this happens with so many of our business owners who've been in business for just a couple years, maybe not even a long time, even if, 2 or 3 years, they've been kind of doing the internet thing and they have been building their list. They've been building their social media, posting 8 trillion times a day, maybe running some ads, maybe doing some ads to launches and things like that. And what happened probably about 6 months to a year ago is everyone said, gosh, I can't get registrations for my email list. I post on social and I just don't get traction anymore. I used to be able to just like put a post up and have like 1,000 people, sign up for something, or send out an email and have 1,000 people sign up. And what was happening was people had these audiences, even if they were small, like even, a couple thousand people, I'm not talking anything crazy, all the way up to very large audiences of hundreds of thousands. And they were saying the impact of my marketing is pretty minimal at this point. I don't know if people are just tuning out. I don't know if they don't care. But in many circumstances, they have paid for this audience, right? Whether that is with blood, sweat, and tears, fighting an algorithm on Instagram, which I know all too well, or it is through ads, which is like actual dollars that they spent building these email lists, building this social media following, and there's just not a lot happening. Anyone here relate? Is anybody like, I got a list, it's got a few thousand people on it and nothing happens? Or I have 2,000 followers and nothing happens. Here's the thing, what we think immediately and what everybody comes and says to me when they're working with me is, Danielle, I just need more leads. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I'm not sure if you need more leads. There are certainly instances where people need more leads. We spend money on ads every single day. We love them. I will never tell you to stop growing your audience. It's always valuable, always important. Okay. So hear me there. I'm a big fan. Grow, grow, grow. However, most people are not in desperate need of more leads right now. Most people need to monetize the audiences they already have. They need to re-engage their people who have already at one point raised their hand and said, I like you, I want to follow you. If somebody's following you on Instagram, if they've commented on some of your posts, they've already said, hey, I kind of like your style. If somebody's on your email list, they've already raised their hand and said, hey, I want something you have. Even if it was just a free offer, they at some point they had enough interest where they were like, okay, I'm going to give you my email address, even if it was a throwaway email address, to be able to get this thing. And so what many of us did was in the like gold rush season of just selling, 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 is we sort of wore out these audiences. Even if you didn't do that, everyone was selling to them all the time. So the world kind of wore out these audiences. Like everybody, everywhere, all the time was just pounding, pounding, pounding. And now it's like you have to have an actual miracle to get somebody to open an email. Like God needs to work on your behalf for a post to actually get registrations. Like it is actual miraculous things that has to happen for things to gain traction. But here's the truth, because the bar has been set so low at this point, because so many people are sending so much junk, so much spam, so much nonsense, because the entire world is racing to commoditize the one thing that makes them different, which is them with AI. There is a massive gap right now for anyone who's willing to just roll up their sleeves and get their hands a little dirty and do some work to actually recultivate relationships that you already have. Now, again, I'm going to talk about growth because we love it, we value it. But many of you today are sitting on hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales if you just understood how to re-engage your email list, how to re-engage your social media followers. If you just had a system and set of strategies to get the people who are already there back on board. So what I want to encourage you to think about is, what have you done to build this following? What have you done in terms of content creation? Many of you, we taught live launching for many, many years, and a huge part of that were Facebook groups. Many of you are sitting on Facebook groups of 5,000, 8,000, 10,000 people, even 2,000 people. Y'all, I promise you, you could go find in your current audience 100 people who would give you $57 a month or $97 for a one-time call. Right now, you would not need another lead for months, many of you. So part of one of the power levers that we're going to be talking about over the next few days is going to be how to get the people who already raise their hands back in your world. And here's the thing, we assume that we need to be all brand new and shiny and all these things. If you're the real deal, like, I mean, like, you're someone who operates a business with integrity, you show up and you get results, and you do it with love and care and respect for the human on the other side, you are in the 1%. So all you have to do is get back on someone's radar, and what they'll do is remember, oh, wait, that person is the real deal. I did like working with them, or I did like being in their ecosystem. It's just getting back on the radar. And sometimes that is as simple as a quick message in the DMs that's like, hey, Kelly, how are things going? Haven't talked to you in a while. Literally, we are sitting on thousands of opportunities like that that are layups for our next sale that could then lead to more. So I will tell you, I've done this personally with our email list. We have had many iterations, tens of thousands of people. And at one point, I mean, we've even taught this. We're like, well, our email list doesn't actually move our launches at all. This was back when we were launching high ticket, and almost nothing was happening from our email list. Nothing. And I mean, y'all, I'm not talking about a little email list. I'm talking about close to hundreds of thousands. So, like, this was not a small group of people. This is a group many would given a right arm for. So we were doing these very heavy style launches that Kelly mentioned, where, you know, we would run the ads, and then there would be a pre-call, and then they would come to all the days, and then there would be a post call, sometimes 2 post calls, sometimes 3 post calls. And our emails were, I'm not going to say completely irrelevant. They would maybe get some registrations, but that was really it. There wasn't a whole lot of traction. Fast forward to today, where we make hundreds of sales from our email every week. Every month. Sorry, that was not true. Every month. Hundreds from every month. That was not correct. 100 or so every single month from emails. And it's not always a sales email. Sometimes it'll be, y'all, sometimes people will find an email from 3 weeks ago with some code that they like super sleuthed out and figured out how to get on this list for less. We have sold in 3 days 105 phone calls that we used to offer for free from 2 emails. So when I say we went from like barren wasteland of email strategy to what actually is work, now it's become a reliable source of revenue for us, which is, if you understood where that was before to where that is now, that's a miracle in and of itself. So one of the things that we've learned is that if you're willing to put a little bit of thought and effort and intention into how you are building your list, like the way you're getting people on it, and then what you're doing once people are on it, then you will be able to monetize again in the hundreds a month. How many of you would love to send, emails every 3 or 4 days and make another 100 sales this month? Like, sounds decent, sounds not too shabby. And many of you, I'm not saying all of you, some of you do not have list sizes big enough for this. Some of you do. Some of you don't need to add a single subscriber to your list to be able to do this. We have a client, Julie, I'm going to share more of her story later, but she actually had a list of 7,000. That was it. This was not some massive list of 30,000. And in her first trust building launch, which was an email, she sold close to 300 of them. That's insane, y'all. She ended up sending like 3 emails the whole time and sold 300. So when I say hundreds per month, that's not like pretend. That's like an actual, you could potentially build your list. Again, she didn't have 30,000 people on her list. She had 7,000. So it's totally possible when you understand how to re-engage and make people obsessed with the emails you're sending. Okay, that's number one. The next part, audience multiplication. Now, here's where we do start growing. And this is the part that is sometimes sexy and sometimes not. But what I have learned over the last few, probably 18 months, is that there's the general ways to grow, which are important. Like you need to be posting on organic social. You need to be doing all the engagement activities to get people in conversations on social. You just can't not do that. You need to be running ads at some point. If you want to stay competitive, you don't need to spend hundreds of thousands, but you probably need to run some ads. If you want to sell volumes, you're going to need to run some ads, even if it's just list building ads, because when you have an email strategy, then your ads don't go to waste. When you have a masterclass strategy, like Kelly talked about earlier, when you have a live selling strategy, you're able to monetize all the leads that you pay for in ads so they don't just sit there. But there are other ways that people are growing their list. They're doing swaps and newsletters. They're doing lead magnet exchanges. They're doing summits. They're doing all these things that not a lot of people talk about because you just have to, because everybody's just like, go post more on social media, go post more on social media. So your last lever is once you've got all of the things in place that Kelly's talking about in terms of your offer, your live streaming, your upsell machine, right? Like that's the back end mechanism. Once you've re-engaged the people you already paid for with either time or money, which is probably going to take most of you to the end of the year just to tap out that audience, then it's time to put oil on the fire, gas on the fire. Sorry. Gas on the, I don't know if oil on the fire, maybe that'd make it burn more. I'm not really sure. I'm from Queens, y'all. I don't know. So we want you to pour that gas on the fire and have it just continue to roll. That's where you pour on more and more and more in terms of audience because you already have a mechanism to grow. The biggest, please y'all listen, this is my public service announcement to you today. The biggest mistake you can make, and I know this after doing social media and ads management for dozens and dozens of clients now, I don't know, probably close to 100 people. The worst thing you can do is focus all of your attention on lead generation and then just let them go somewhere to die. Just let them like literally sit on a list that you don't pay attention to. Never ever to monetize or engage them in any sort of meaningful relationship. Like I see people waste so much time and money on ads and on organic. So these people trying to go viral on social media who have no way to monetize is crazy town, y'all. It's crazy town. It is not a viable way to scale. So what we do is like, let's get the machine working. Like, let's get it rolling and dialed in. And then once it is, I just got off a call with a client who's doing ads with us. And I was like, she ran her organic masterclass and then she did an organic ads one and then she did an ads one. And I'm like, everything works. She made sales every single time using this exact model. I think she's up to like 50 or 60 in her trust builder. She had her first from this last launch upgrade to her certification, her 5K offer. So $44 to 5K. We just literally, that's why I was late to this call. Just got off that call. And that happened. I was like, everything works. Let's just up the ad spend. We have proof of concept. It's all working. Your upsells are happening. Let's pour some gasoline on that. And she's like, cool. And we increase the budget. So this is not like magic or anything crazy. It's just understanding where the market is, putting yourself in the best position to serve and bring someone in a paid relationship sooner, and then over delivering in such a way that they want to upsell, and then just rinsing and repeating and turning up the heat. That's literally all. So, Kelly, anything you'd add to any of that before we dive into some case studies and numbers?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's great. So I just want to ask you guys, are you excited about the upsell machine? Do you get the arc of what you're doing? You have a trust builder on the front. You use live communication as a megaphone to the world. You put them in your upsell machine. You have continuity, you have upsell, downsell, instant offers, and accelerators. You love your audience, you nurture your audience, you take care of your audience, like Danielle said, with the maximization. And then we're going to amplify. Then we're going to really pour gasoline on the fire, and we're going to take that and multiply and duplicate it. Okay. So I see some questions coming in the chat. I'm going to let Danielle answer them. We're going to give you guys some specific examples in just a second. I'm just going to show you like a couple quick things on my screen. I'll let Danielle answer a couple of those questions, and then we'll chat about a few other things. So here's how it works, right? You have component one, which is your live selling. You got the components of that. You have component two, which is your upsell machine. You have component three, which is audience monetization. That is taking the resources you are sitting on, the gold mine that you are sitting on right now, and monetizing it. It doesn't cost you $1 to do this. This is about you getting a bigger return from what you already have. Then, as Danielle pointed out, once you're getting a return from the assets that you already have, now you multiply and duplicate. Now you put advertising dollars behind it. Now you take it to the moon, right? Because now you have offers that are already working. They're selling passively with emails, with text messages. You are able to run ads to your offers. And you know that when you get on these live things with your audience that they're going to buy, right? So this is all hinging on the foundations in the virtual business school. Probably most of you at this point, if you follow our brand in any capacity, you know what the virtual business school is. We created that as a disruptor to the online space because it got way too hard, complicated, and expensive for business owners to scale. We wanted to create an instant access solution that anyone could afford to give you the foundations that you need to make daily sales online. Today, we are telling you, if you're the person that's like, okay, awesome, I love making daily sales, I get the foundations, but I want to go big. Like I want to not just do daily sales, I want to make hundreds of sales in a month. Then that's when you layer these things that we're talking about today on top of that. So you have your trust building offer. Okay. And we put right here in the workbook for you. And why did we do this? Because we get 1,000 questions every single time we teach about this. So we made it easy for you. We put 11 types of trust building offers right there in the workbook for you. You are welcome. They all work. Our clients are killing it with these. We use a lot of these ourselves. These are proven models. These are simple, easy things that you can deliver right away. And as I mentioned already, once you get one trust building offer working, then you're going to develop multiple. Okay. So this is all layering on what you've heard us talk about ad nauseum, every live that we've done in my podcast over and over again, in our emails, on our live shows. Those of you that are in virtual business school, of course, know this. This all layers on the core components of the Dream 1000 and the Miracle Hour with the trust building offer. Now, the second question that we get every single time, so we put it right here in the workbook for you, is what's a trust building offer, what's a mid-ticket offer, and what's a high ticket. Please note, these ranges have completely changed. High ticket used to be 20,000, 30,000, 50,000. The consumer mentality has completely shifted. If you do any amount of research on what is driving consumer behaviors, how people are buying and what they're buying based on convenience, flexibility, and things that meet a need that they can make a decision quickly on. And so these numbers have really shifted a lot from where they were. And all you have to do is adjust your strategy to sell whatever you want to sell. So if you want to sell a $100,000 product, you can sell a $100,000 product. People are still buying at that level, but your strategy has to reverse engineer into it. So we're not here to say, sell this, don't sell that. We're here to say, just align your strategy and know what the difference is between these things. Okay. I'm going to stop that there for just a second. I want to give you guys a quick invitation. Is that okay? You guys okay if I give you a quick invitation? Yeah? All right. We're going to give you a quick invitation. And when we're done giving you this invitation, we're going to dive into the arc of hypergrowth. And we're going to talk about very specific examples. Danielle is going to go into the nitty gritty details of not theoretical or hypothetical examples. She is literally going to walk you through how our clients are making hundreds. Some of them, we had our first client just cross over their first $1 million trust builder. But we're going to give you the nitty gritty of everything. But before we do, I want to introduce to you Virtual Business School Gold. Virtual Business School Gold is the compilation of all the best things that we've ever created as an organization. We stripped absolutely everything away and we looked at, what do you as entrepreneurs need right now to build a 7 or 8 figure business? And what are the things that are going to be important to you as an entrepreneur looking to scale online, but being in consideration of the market conditions that you're operating in and the things that you're navigating today? And so we created the next level of the virtual business school. And this is for people, like I said, virtual business school is like where you are going to get started with your trust builder, Dream 1000, Miracle Hour, audience building. But if you're sitting here today and you're like, I want to make hundreds of sales, I want to build my business into the millions. You're the kind of person that like wants to go big and you're ready to like go hard on creating hyper growth in your business. This is the container for the remainder of 2025 and 2026 into the future that you are going to want to be a part of. Okay. And Virtual Business School Gold is really going to focus on the pillars that we just talked about today. So it's going to give you the support and resources and training and implementation sessions and coaching to allow you to not only leverage the power of live launching, live streaming, masterclasses, live selling, just learn how to sell things on camera exponentially better, but in the new way that we're teaching it. Okay. You want to make sure that you have an upsell machine so that you have continuity, so that a $59 sale can turn into 10, 15, 20, $50,000 in your business. That doesn't happen by default. That will create sporadic and unpredictable results. But if you create an upsell machine where it's systematic, it's strategic, it's happening on repeat, nonstop, all day, every day, then you have a process and a system that is going to take those sales, multiply them, duplicate them, and scale them. And then, of course, as we just talked about with Danielle, you want to make sure that you are building your audience every single day. And you want to make sure that as you get things working, you can actually create leverage. Leverage is where you get freedom in your business. Leverage is when you're able to get better results, but you don't have to put in more effort. Advertising and doing those things that we talked about in terms of audience amplification and multiplication is how you're going to take the leverage and you're going to apply it to your business to take back your time, to get bigger and better results faster, and to make sure that you can actually have more freedom in your business as you grow, instead of, in a lot of cases, many entrepreneurs have less freedom in their businesses as they grow. So that's where that duplication is really coming in. Okay. And Danielle gave a great example of that from the call that she just spoke to. So this is really going to be going deep into everything from your business model, the offers that you're selling, your go-to-market strategy, your monetization on the back end, the 4 R's, like we always talk about: renewals, referrals, reactivations, upsells, all of those things. It is comprehensive. It is A to Z. But what is special about this program is that this is basically a program that, people have said to us over and over again that Virtual Business School, which is less than $1,000, is easily worth 20,000. I had someone tell me it's worth 50,000 based on the results that they've gotten from it. This program is going to blow your mind when you see what we're charging for it. And it's easily worth so much more than that. And I'll turn it over to Danielle to share some of the components of what you are getting inside Virtual Business School. We are so excited and so proud to share this and really for the first time bring the full and complete model to you, because we had to sit and spend many months building our own trust builders, pivoting our entire organization, changing our business model, getting proof of concept with our clients, getting our clients building multi-hundred client containers with their trust builders before we were ready for the mastery level. And that's now, and that's here today. And so we're so excited to invite you to be a part of it. So Danielle, let's tell them what they will experience inside Virtual Business School Gold.
Yeah. So really quick before we do this, we do have a live only bonus that will be available. So stick around. And for those of you asking questions, I am going to walk you through some specific scenarios, including a client one that did over 7 figures and some like just other ways that you can structure things. So trust me, just stick around. You're going to be blown away by what's happening. Then we're going to actually help you work it out. Okay. So I want everybody to know that this was sort of born out of our desire to not keep you on calls 3,000 hours a week. We're like, what does everybody need to be able to? For those of you who've run businesses before, and I know this is something you would probably never admit publicly, but I talk to all of our seven-figure business owners, literally, 5 or 6 of them a week in coaching sessions, and everybody, on down to like 500K a year, and everybody to a person has told me my revenue is like half of what it used to be. And for some of you, that means it's really, really a lot lower than where you were. And if you are like, I remember the golden days of like launching and $100,000 sales all the time and $100,000 months and all these things, and I want to get back there, but you feel like you're slogging through everything, that's what this is designed for. And then there's some of you who are newer in business and you're just going to like kick hyper growth mode into gear sooner than later, and you're going to skip over all that. You're welcome to. But that's, we saw that obviously in our own companies, running a 30K product to market for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. That was all you could ever buy from us or hire. So we saw that with all of our clients. So this is designed to only give you what you need and not bog you down with like a bunch of other nonsense, okay? Because what is happening right now is we are watching people spend so much precious time on things that will not work in today's market. It's like so outdated, so ridiculous, and it's just causing more and more frustration. And that is not what we want. We want to say, here's the tools, go put them into practice and get them going. So what you get inside of the Virtual Business School Gold program is first and foremost, you're going to get our quarterly intensives. Now, again, we were thinking, how do we give everybody what they need in the most clear, concise format, but without just becoming consumers and not actually taking action? So we were thinking about this initially with our live launch. We taught live launch for years. Kelly wrote the book on it. She created it. She's the originator of it. But things were changing so quickly with the live launch. It felt like impossible to keep people like like keep them updated. So we were like, well, let's do a one day where we just break down literally everything that's changed, everything that we see. And then if we have to do another one, in a couple months, we'll do another one. So this is where the intensive idea was born. And they were like, gosh, there's so many things that we could just, if we could get everybody there for one day, we could like break it down completely. Everybody could build it with us. They're good to go. They're done. They're like off implementing. So inside of VBS Gold, you get 4 of these included. Now, these alone, we sell externally for $1,250. We sell them for $1,250 each. That means if you bought all 4, they were $5,000. VBS Gold is only $5,500 for the year. So it's a really good deal. But you get 4 of these. Our next one is next week. It is going to be on the full upsell machine. So Kelly, do you want to talk about that? Because that's
Yeah.
September 3rd. This is the next one coming up. You could literally be in this. Now, listen, if you want to pay us $1,250 for that alone, absolutely welcome to. But I wouldn't, because you're going to pay so much more and not get all the other stuff in VBS Gold. But Kelly, do you want to share a little bit about what we'll be doing on that specific intensive? It's all day long with Kelly and I. I'll let her share
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm so excited because this is the first time that we're getting to do this full reveal of what we get to celebrate and enjoy every single day as a team and as a company. We get on Miracle Hour every morning at 9, and every day I get to say to the team, we didn't break the streak. We didn't break the streak, because now, usually before we get on our Miracle Hour call, we have 2 or 3 sales that come in every morning or maybe overnight while we were sleeping. And, that's a big change when you've been used to making 80% of your sales in launch and then maybe like a dribble or a drabble there. If you're the kind of person and you're the breadwinner for your family, which I am, probably a lot of you are too, you want that consistency. You want the consistency of knowing that, revenue is being generated on a daily basis, and you're not waiting and hoping that it's going to come in the future. And that was okay in a different market where launches were like clockwork. That worked in a market where launches were like clockwork. We could know the exact amount of leads, the exact conversion rate. We knew exactly what we could get to. And so it was very predictable, right? And probably a lot of you felt this as well. And then it wasn't. And then the market changed so much between each that it really just was too risky to build a business that way anymore, which is why we changed our whole model. And it's why we're encouraging you to do it as well. Because from a sustainability standpoint, your upsell machine is how you're driving daily sales that are not required to close new customers. The hardest and most expensive thing to do, let me just hear me, everyone hear me. The hardest and most expensive thing to do is to get new customers. That's why we built the whole concept of trust building offers. However, it's still the hardest, most expensive thing to do. The easiest thing to do is to send emails, to send texts, and to send DMs to your own customers with your instant offers, with your accelerators, all of those things. So next week, what are you going to get to do? We'll go through each of the categories. We'll help you map out what those offers are going to be for you. We'll help you price them. We'll make recommendations on timing. We'll make recommendations on sequences. Like, this is not just going to be you sitting and listening for 4 hours. You're going to leave there with 50 decisions made for how you are going to go and take a $59 sale or $100 sale and turn it into $5, $10, $15,000 plus. And we're going to go through the full upsell machine. So we're going to talk about what happens in week 1, what happens in the first 30 days, what happens in the first 90 days. How are you moving from offer to offer to offer? What's the connection between them? How do you follow up with customers after they take advantage of one of the offers? Like, we're really going to help you leave with a plan that is going to make you feel like, I just got my life back. I just got control back of my business. I am back in the driver's seat of my business again. You are going to leave so pumped, so excited. And again, what's so beautiful about this, and you guys know I believe in spiritual selling. I am such a believer in how sacred sales is. Everything that we are going to guide you to do is going to feel amazing for your customers, and it's going to be incredibly helpful for them, because the first and most important priority always is building your brand. The first and most important priority always is being of service to others. And so you can learn these strategies from a lot of other people, and they're going to teach you in a way that it doesn't feel good for you and it doesn't feel good for your customers. And we don't believe in that. The way that we're going to do this, you are going to have, and this is the biggest change, and my team will verify and validate this. The biggest change for us is we cannot believe on a daily basis how many people just literally DM us and are like, thank you. Thank you. You changed my life. Thank you. Because people are feeling relief, they're having fun, and they're making money again. That's what we want for every single one of you. So next week, the upsell machine, we break down the components. We talk about who, what, when, where, how, why. You begin to plan those things out. You can put dates on the calendar. You can start building your sequences. And there's a lot of other things that Danielle will talk to you about that is built into VBS Gold that you're going to have from a support mechanism that's going to help you make it really easy to take what we're teaching and get bigger and faster results from it.
Yeah. All right. So number 1, you get 4 quarterly intensives. Number 2, you get weekly strategic advisories. If anyone has ever been a client in any of our high ticket programs, you know this is the most valuable piece of the puzzle, in that every week Kelly does a session which basically breaks down some tactical approach to something that we're testing, something we're trying, something that has worked, something that hasn't worked. It'll be something that, you know, a lot of members are just saying, hey, like, I kind of understand this, but I don't understand it enough. And so Kelly, and sometimes I will pop in there and we'll do these tactical breakdowns for you every single week. The really cool thing about this is an audio feed. You don't have to get on a call. You literally can get it in your podcast app. Listen, I'm going to pull up my Apple Podcasts right here. You get the full feed in your regular old Apple Podcasts once you're in here. We already have, I want to say there's 12 in there right now. This is literally easy upsells and instant offers. She did a whole session on that. Getting in the flow with your Dream 1000. So we get so many people who are like, I understand Dream 1000, but it's not really working. How do I do it? How do I make it work? How to fully broken down. I did a full session with our ad strategy overview, literally walked you through what percentage of our budget we spent on this versus that, brand building, list building, direct to launch, walked you through it A to Z, perfect even if you have a small ads budget. Building your launch calendar, this is a big question for those of you who are in the middle of selling mid and high ticket. Actually, the client I was just talking to, she's kind of still switching back and forth between selling her mid and high ticket. We walk you through specifically how to put what on the calendar, how to promote the entire thing. This is not theory. This is literally like I'm giving you the step by step, breaking it down A to Z. Kelly did internal launches, how to launch to your current buyers, how to do info sessions, how to fill a masterclass. Anybody want to know how to fill a masterclass? Kelly walked you through every single step, every lever we pull to fill a masterclass. You get all that literally delivered to your iPhone today if you sign up. So that's included, and it's updated every single week with a new one. And again, these are things that we source from y'all. We're not just making them up. That alone would be worth $2,500 a year. And Kelly, if you want to pull up the slides, we can, everybody can see
Oh,
that,
yes.
get those as well. We also have a custom ChatGPT that's been created where I have taken all of our sales templates, all of our training on DMing and sales and all of these things. So basically right now, and I did a whole session walking you through exactly how to use it, what not to use it for, what to use it for. You could literally screenshot a DM of you and a potential buyer, throw it in the GPT, and actually like have it tell you what to say next. You can go to this slide with all the things on it. Okay. So that's already included. You get direct access to that. People are obsessed with it right now. It will write your sales posts for your trust building offers, your sales emails for your trust building offers. We don't use it for brand name building, and I explain why in the training, but you get immediate access to that. We have a once a month networking session. This is not cheesy, self-promotional, annoying networking. This is actually designed for you to have meaningful conversations with other members inside the community so that you can collaborate. A major lever that you're going to need to pull in that last one of audience multiplication is getting in front of other people's audiences. And we're giving you the community to be able to do that effectively, to collaborate with other people. Once a month, you get those calls. We do templates. I give you a sales template bundle every other month. These are sold directly to our list. We sold like 50 or 60 of them last time. They started at 79, they went up to 129. People bought them at every price point. Every time we release a new bundle, which are proven templates that we've used to make sales via email, DMs, whatever we're doing, you get those for free. So people are paying literally 79, 89, 99, $129 for these. You get them free. But then we're doing something really special between September and December that will probably not happen again in this level or volume. But Kelly and I have committed, we want to help you 10x your sales by the end of the year. We want to help you double your profits. So what we are doing is she and I are taking turns, and once a month, one of us will be hosting a live co-working session inside VBS Goal where you will get hot seat opportunities to ask questions about any part of the process. You want to know about list building, you want to know about ads, you want to know about your upsell machine and how to make it better, all those things. We are going to just give you free reign to ask whatever you want on that. That alone is worth the cost of the program. Like literally, that alone is worth the cost of the program. We sold a session of that, which we don't. We don't sell those right now. You would pay for those. If you booked a one-on-one call with Kelly, that's $5,000. If you book a one-on-one call with me, that's $2,000. You're getting one of us every month, and maybe some months you'll get both of us. We'll see. We also offer discounted one-on-one calls. We do know that there are times where you may just have a couple questions and you want to ask someone one-on-one. You get a $200 discount on every one-on-one call you book with our team. The total value of this is over 10K. We have some insane bonuses that I'll tell you about, but we're only charging $5,500 for the year. And I do have a bonus that if you join and pay in full before the end of this session, before we close out, you are going to get a 90-minute one-on-one session with me. 90 minutes, that literally costs $2,000. We are going to walk through your offer suite and messaging and positioning of every single offer. So you will leave with the full transcript of how to message and position every offer in your offer suite, how they go together. Any of you who know, have been in my coaching sessions or calls, this is what I do. We will probably knock it out in sooner than 90 minutes, but you get the 90 minutes with me there. I looked at this every single way I could. I was going to try to do 10. I could not do 10. So we have 6 of them available. The first 6 people who pay in full get one of these sessions. That was like literally all I can squeeze out. I'm gonna try to work out something else maybe for next month where I can get more in, but I can't promise this will ever be available again. This may never ever be available again. So the first 6 people who do this do not have to pay $2,000 for a 90-minute call with me where I'm literally giving you your messaging and positioning for good. You pay the $5,500 for the full year of VBS Gold, and the first 6 people who do this live only get that one-on-one session with me. So if you are someone who is currently paying monthly and you want to upgrade, go for it. If you're someone who has access and you want to get in early, do the yearly and we'll give you access to that. But we have some other really cool bonuses as well. So I'm going to go through those as well. If you pay in full, and this is anytime while our card is open, doesn't have to be in the session. If you pay in full, you get access to our September 24th event. Kelly and I are hosting a small group of people. It will be less than 20 people. Then we are going to, it's basically masterminding. We are not, again, this market requires action. If you want to go back into hyper growth mode, you got to get out of overthinking mode. And we've seen so many people overthinking so many things. So our goal is that when we are with you, you are taking action or you're planning something out and making decisions so the team can go take action. Okay. So literally there should be nobody who's just like, I don't know what to do after you come to this event. But in person, September 24th with us, I think we have probably 4 or 5 spots left for that. So we will have to cap that. I don't know. I have to go back to the team. I'm not sure because there's already people who've been given this, but we have a handful of spots left in that day. So if you pay in full for the year, you get access to that. If you pay in full for the year, you also get access to an offer optimization workshop. I'm hosting this September 10th, 2:30. This is with me. It's about an hour and a half. And this is where we're doing it in a group session where we're going to look at building out your offer suite. We get so many questions about this. This is actually one of my favorite things to do. You tell me what it is. I'm like, here's your offer. Or you tell me your offer. I'm like, oh, fix it and do these 2 things. And then all of a sudden it's magical and wonderful and amazing. This is going to be super, super, super helpful to those of you who are like, I think I know what my offer suite looks like and what's going to work, but I want to make sure it's optimized for upselling. This is who this is for. Also, this is available for everyone. So the next few bonuses are available to everyone, even if you do the monthly installments, which we don't have a contract on this. So it's $497 a month. You're not locked in. You do have to give us 30 days notice, but that's it. So if you don't love it, you can get out of it. But we don't think you will because it's so dang good. You guys are going to get a new custom GPT that I'm working on because the question we get now that everybody's watching what we're doing is they're seeing us basically do all these new offers. And so they are saying, hey, I want to add these other, accelerators or intensives, these other trust builders. So what we've done is basically taken all of our coaching. So all of Kelly's teaching, and then all of the coaching that she and I have done with individuals, helping them shape their offers, and we put it into a custom GPT. It's almost ready. It'll be ready by next month, which is like a week, where you can then go in and put your business information in, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do this. I'll give you the prompts. I'll tell you how to use it responsibly because we do not let AI build our business because it is not that good. So I have a specific protocol that you use, and you're going to be able to go in there and have it help you craft the perfect offer. So you're going to have it go in there with our methodology, our frameworks based on your business. This alone will probably make some of you an extra 6 figures, maybe multiple 6 figures, just using this well. And I'm going to teach you how to use it well, so you don't have to guess. So you're getting this sales content GPT that's already programmed, you already have access to, and this new one. Literally, you want to talk about using AI to be wise in your business. This is how you do it, not just to build it because that's junk and that's commoditized and that's fluff. This is how to uniquely bring your flavor, your awesomeness into what you're building and actually get real results. Okay. The other thing that you're going to get is we have mini intensives. The mini intensives, they're not part of the program. They are not included, but we have 2 extra planned before the end of the year. The first one is in October where Kelly's doing, I think it's a 2.5-hour session on light launching and live selling. So basically, she's going to be walking you through how to structure, how to leverage the live selling model so that you can make sales every single time you go live. And then I'm doing another session in November on list growth, how to explode your list growth. And I'm going to be teaching you some ways that nobody ever teaches y'all, like ever. I had to literally go down the most insane rabbit holes to find these and spend a lot of money. So I'm going to teach you those. So those are two extras. Those are $6.97 each. Again, you can pay us $12.50 for September 3rd, $6.97 for October, $6.97 for November, and then our December one is going to be mapping out your multi-million dollar year for 2026. So that alone, 2,500, that alone is 3,500. You are welcome to pay us for those separately, or you could just get all the other goodies. And the live only bonus if you join us at the monthly rate. And if you do the pay in full, you get these also. We're going to give you our past two intensives. So probably 2 or 3 months ago, Kelly and I did a full day of live launch. Everything that's changed, everything we've iterated, all the different things from ads to structure to selling, the whole thing we broke down. You're getting access to that. And then last week, I did a session, 2.5 hours, I think it was 3 hours, on your email newsletter and how to build it in a way. Remember, I said many of you have to monetize the current audience you have. Literally, if you take this one thing right here, you could probably add another 6 figures by next year, because I'm teaching you how to, like, all the ins and outs of email and how to turn it into a sales machine and not just a dumping ground, because let's be honest, many people treat it like a dumping ground. So if you buy now, you're getting access to those past trainings in addition to everything we have moving forward. Kelly, anything I'm forgetting?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say that the live only bonus for the pay in full is worth as much as the entire year in the program. And we do only have 6 spots for that. So I just want to encourage you, if you're in a position to make that decision to invest in yourself today, to take advantage of one of those 6 spots. People leave those sessions with their whole like business plan reworked in a simpler, lighter, and more profitable structure that actually works, because you're leaving with the messaging, you're leaving with the positioning, you're leaving with the pricing, your offers are dialed in. It's totally custom tailored to you.
It's one-on-one.
So yeah, I would say definitely take advantage of one of those 6 spots. Also, obviously the gold level includes everything that is in the virtual business school as well. And so you're constantly getting support on the implementation of the fundamentals, and then you're working on the mastery level to really take it, multiply, duplicate, and scale. And, for us, every single thing that we do is really about helping shift the entrepreneurial space, because business failure in online entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship in general is still incredibly high. And so that's why this program has no contract. Okay. You can leave anytime, 30 days notice. It's why we're making it a no brainer, so affordable, so accessible, because we want to see more of you achieve 7 and 8 figures. We want to do something that disrupts the online space and takes the type of products that people typically pay between $50,000 and $80,000 for, and make it available for $497 a month, so that we're actually paving a pathway for more entrepreneurs to be able to achieve 7 and 8 figures. Usually you have to already be successful in order to afford access to the resources to learn how to be successful. We are completely flipping that script, and we are helping you build in real time, not in teaching you things that we did 5-7 years ago or even 5-7 months ago. All of these components that we just described for you here today, we are delivering in real time. We are recording and delivering in real time, which means that you are pacing and growing with us. So you all have seen us rise in the industry for over a decade now. You've seen us be on the Inc. 5000 list multiple times. You see us be in Forbes. You see us be in all these different magazines, Inc., Best in Business, and win all the Titan Awards and all these different things. Top podcast, one of the top 1% in the world. Like, you've seen us rise for a decade now. We are just getting started. And what you have to decide is, in this next era, who are you going to link arms with? Who are you attaching your wagon to? What organization are you going to learn from and grow with? And for us, like, you have seen us, you've seen us build in public, you've seen us scale one model, you've seen us explain why we're changing into the new one. We walked you through the step by step of it. Like, there's no gatekeeping. And now we're inviting you into a program where you get to pace in real time with us. You're not getting materials 6, 9 months, in arrears that no longer work. You are getting to pace with us. So if you're sitting here today and your business has been harder and sales have been slower, and you're ready to put a stake in the ground and say, I'm ready to make the decision today to invest in myself to ensure that 2026 looks radically different, not because you're wishing or hoping, and not because you're just spending money on a coaching program. We all know, and we've all had the experience, that spending money on a coaching program does not mean anything's going to change in your business. What
Mhm.
does mean something is if you invest in the right program with the right mentors and you show up for yourself and you do the work to make it work. And so if you sat here today and you're like, wow, okay, this makes sense. That model is no longer working because of these circumstances. This new model is because of these circumstances. And you would like to shortcut the process, money wise, time wise, energy wise, so that you can take what we've spent the last year building, that we're going to lead the industry through pivoting into, then you want to be on the fast track to getting your business into a level of hyper growth that you've never been able to achieve before. And I say that not as a platitude. We've never been able to achieve this kind of growth before. We have the highest customer count we've ever had as an organization. It's growing every single week. We have more sales happening on a daily basis than ever before. Our clients are seeing the same. So that's not a platitude. That's something that you can create in your business. We are not here to tell you what to do or how to do it. We're here to be guides, to introduce systems, to introduce protocols that work, to give you frameworks that our clients are having success with, and invite you to then show up for yourself, show up for your family, and use our heavy lifting to give you the advantage. So if you're standing here today and you're like, yes, I get it, this is making sense, I am ready, I am so excited to welcome you in. And I want to give a big congratulations to both Lisa and to Eric. That was a really smart decision. Lisa and Eric, I can't wait to DM you the day after you have your live session with Danielle, because I already know what you're going to tell me. And it's going to go something like this: Danielle just blew my mind. This was worth the entire time in the program. I only wish I had done it sooner. That's what you're going to say. So I just want to give you guys a huge congratulations. We have 4 spots left for that one-on-one to get all these things that we're talking about completely and fully customized for your business. Okay. So if you're here today and you have questions, this is a live for a reason. And it's alive so that we can have two-way communication. So I would really encourage anyone that's here, and there's a lot of people that I know and love here. There's a lot of people that have been our students for years, a lot of people that are in the virtual business school. Don't be shy. Put these questions in the chat. We want to hear from you guys, because chances are, if you have a question, you probably would be doing a service to everyone else here, because they probably have the same question that you do, right? So I'm going to share really quickly the page, and then for anyone that's available, maybe Danielle, we could do one example. I don't know if we're going to have time today.
Yeah, I would probably need to do that before you look at the page then, but
Okay.
yes, I
All
can
right.
definitely
This is what we're going to do, guys. This is what we're going to do. We still have
take my
so
jacket
much
off
more to
first.
cover. Oh, look, the jacket's coming off.
I
I
know.
mean, we're getting into it. We're getting into it,
Nice.
guys. The jacket's coming off. You guys still have a good little like 20 minutes if you want to join and get one of those last 4 spots that we have left before they're gone. Danielle's going to start walking you through examples and case studies of how you can take the model we described today and apply it. And we will continue this tomorrow. We are giving you real examples. These are not fake. We are going to show you how to make this work to 10x on the back end. So we'll start with one today. We'll cover as much as we can. We will continue the conversation tomorrow. We will build on it. And we will also take your questions live. We want you to leave this workshop excited, empowered, and making new decisions to make more money in your business. You don't need to wait to start working with us. You don't need to wait till the workshop's over. Go take action on something that you learned today. All right, Danielle, let's cover as much as we can of that first example while we can. And I'm going to encourage you all, while you're listening to Danielle, go ahead and get yourself registered. Okay. And then we'll see where we land, and we'll pick back up and we'll continue the conversation tomorrow.
Yeah. And Haley, what I would say to that is we actually have a bunch of templates in regular VBS that's not the VBS Gold level, that would maybe be helpful for that. So talk to one of the team members. They could probably help you out there. Okay, so I'm going to go through, I'm going to try to share. I'm not the best at sharing. Okay. Can everybody see this? Yes. Okay. So today's case study is Maria. She's a real person. You could go find her in our Facebook group. She's really there. She owned her own salon, or I think she still does, at over 7 figures. She's got her business now. She's got a couple of different arms of it, and largely it is coaching other salon owners. So she's got a specific demographic. She put together a trust building offer. It's actually a membership. It's actually a year-long thing, but she only allows people to pay for the year in full. So they have to make a $597 payment. That's her trust building offer. She sold it herself and started making tons and tons of sales of it. Then she partnered with kind of like a influencer in the salon space and ended up selling over 2,000 of these. These are not pretend numbers, y'all. This is real. Now, this was in probably, and Maria could maybe pop in and tell us at some point, but this was, I want to say, in close to a year, maybe 9 months, where she was able to sell 2,000 people in at $597. That's over $1 million. It was $1.1 million, just so everybody's clear. Then from that offer, she has a high ticket, like a kind of mastermind group coaching program that's 30K each. Well, she only sold 30 people into that, but y'all, only selling 30 people into that is another 900K. So that's not too shabby, because when you put those two things together from just the strategy we've given her, that's $2 million. But she's like all up in this now. She's like, all right, what else can I do? So she's actually created a trust building offer for her other company, where she sold several hundred into it. She thinks she filled her one-to-one spots directly from that almost immediately. And then this is for that same group of offers, that same program. She created a separate one-time, it was a one-time call, kind of like a VIP call, with some structured deliverables. It was $1997, so $2,000, and she sold 20 for just over 39K. So this is how this whole strategy works. She brought people in $597 a year. If you want to do something like that, it ends up being around $50 a month, $45 a month. And that in a membership style community, like our virtual business school. She calls it the Salon Business School. And so she's got these people in this membership, and many of these people will never be able to pay her 30K program. But guess what? 900K of them did. So she, between just those two offers, did 2 million in revenue, and then upsold for another 39K. That's just in one of her businesses. Then she started using this for another business. So when we say this is not just working for us, that's important for you to understand. This is something I need everybody to listen to. Even if you don't work with us, please hear me on this. There are lots of people online who are talking about how great they are, how much they spend on this, how much they made this quarter, how their revenue is going. There are people growing their revenue who are helping their clients do zero. We're going to show you how we're helping our clients actually grow their revenue. I'm going to bring back another case study tomorrow, one that's not in the millions, so everybody's like, but I'm not even close. Maria wasn't a 7-figure business owner. She was not new. Maria will tell you, go search her name in that group. She works hard. Her team works hard. They do the work. They don't just sit around twiddling their thumbs, hoping for things to come to them. She just implemented every single thing we taught exactly how we taught it. And she executed on that implementation flawlessly. And this is the result, over 2 million in sales. Again, it's about a year. It's not 2 months. I'm not saying you're going to make this much money overnight. She will tell you she worked very hard for this, but please know, this is not just us. This is our other clients. I'm going to show you more of these tomorrow. There are examples in your book. Not everybody needs a membership. Not everybody needs a membership. So one of the examples, I think it's example 2, I used a one-time call of 197 as an example. We have members right now who are doing things like they're in functional medicine space. So they're not doing a group program for that. They might be doing diagnostic labs in a one-time call and then selling a longer term program. So what's really, really important, Deborah, she did not use ads. Nope, she didn't. Now, do I think if she should? Yeah, I think she should use that. But those were largely from she made a couple of connections, like I said, which we will teach all of. When I say we teach you the advanced power levers, these are for people who are like, yeah, I don't want to have to sell direct DM to DM anymore. I want to pull some levers and actually accelerate my process so that I can make more. So that's what we're teaching you inside VBS Gold. Now, if she threw some ads money on that, that would probably go crazy town. But absolutely not. I shared earlier about Julie, and maybe I'll do Julie's story tomorrow where I break it down more fully, but she's actually launched 2 trust builders. And her first one was to a list of 7,000. She did not do any masterclass, no live stream, nothing. She literally just sent the emails, got 300 people in. So here's the thing, when you understand that number one, you're sitting on tens of thousands of dollars with your current audience. Number two, when you make the right offers at a price that's unbelievable, people will take it. We tested this with a one-time offer. It sold so fast. I had planned a 5-day sales cycle. I had to cut it off at 3 days because like we literally couldn't fulfill that many. I was like, I think like 20 people will buy this, like 120 people bought it. And so it was something that we didn't plan, but it was one email that brought in half of that. And then by 3, I had to cut it off by 3 emails. That's it. So, and that's when we were struggling with our deliverability. We were ending up in all the wrong places in the inbox, and we still did that. So here's the thing, when you understand how to monetize your current audience and pair it with the perfect offer, and then you build the machine on the back end, which now is really cool because that now we're seeing our clients do that. Maria was one of the first people who got in our virtual business school and did this. But now we're seeing all of our newer clients who've come in that did like they launched their trust builder and now they're like doing the other things on the back end. That's where the money is. And that's where so many people leave it. They don't touch it. They just say, oh, I made my $47. I'm done. Or they're doing what the gurus say and they're actually creating it for people who will never buy that offer. So they're creating this extra job for themselves with this low ticket offer that they end up hating with people who will never end up in their high ticket offers. That's why the ecosystem is so, so critical. There's no magic to just going live. Just going live without the right offer, the right messaging, the right upsell machine is just you looking at yourself on a video. Like that's all that is. You could be an influencer. If you want to actually have your live streams convert into something that equals more than $47, you need a full system around not just the offer itself, but the whole back end process. And again, every lever here is designed to put you back in hyper growth. Those of you who had businesses in 2020 and 21 know it was so fast you could hardly keep up. Like people's businesses were breaking because they were growing too fast, not because they couldn't pay their bills. It was because they couldn't keep up. Those days can be back. You have to have a slightly different strategy for sure, for sure, for sure. But if you're someone who's like, yeah, I want my 2026 to be 100% hyper growth year. I want to double, triple, quadruple what I'm doing now in revenue to get beyond where I used to be. This is the exact place you need to be because not only are we giving you all the fundamental things you need inside gold, we test like machines. Like you would be shocked at how quickly we will come up with an
Yeah.
idea, put it together, get it out to the market. And y'all, we will tell you when it fails. We will tell you when it doesn't work. We will say, don't waste your time. We don't recommend. Or we'll be like, everyone go do this now. I just tested something this time that I'm going to test 2 more times. And I think it's going to work. And I'm going to teach it to everybody in the masterclass because you know what? A lot of people are struggling to get people to show up to their masterclasses. And I think I might have found a little something, something. So I'm going to teach it to everyone who's struggling to get people to their masterclasses. So part of what we're doing is we're giving you all the strategy, all the fundamentals, all the core piece of the curriculum. But the other benefit is just that we are in the game. We are not coaching from the sidelines. We're not coaching from 12 years ago. We're not coaching from 2020's market. We are in it today. We test a lot. We do it quickly. We recover quickly, and we tell you exactly what to do. So you're getting that ongoing support. Kelly, I'm going to turn it over to you. But guys, I really want
Awesome.
to do that 90-minute session with you. Pay in fulls only, first 6 pay in fulls, get access to that 90-minute session with me. People pay $2,000 for this. This is my one area of like magic is messaging. In like 5 minutes, I'll give you the exact clarity you need. So if you want to get into that, you can. Kelly, I will let you.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Danielle. So I'm just going to give you a quick preview. So tomorrow we're going to be building out a bit of your process. Okay. So you do not want to miss tomorrow's session. Tomorrow's session alone is worth thousands of dollars to you because we're going to walk you through these scenarios and really explain to you how this can work and how this does work. And then after we go through all of these scenarios with you, we're going to have you look at how you can do your next $1 million using these examples. Okay. So everything that you're seeing here in your workbook, it may not make a lot of sense right now, but we are going to spend the hour on this tomorrow. And when you leave here, you are going to fill out each of these things. You are going to feel clear. You are going to walk with a game plan. You are going to know where your next $1 million breakthrough is coming from. This is not going to be theory. This workshop is about helping you to leave here with value add so that you can go make decisions in your business right away to get real results. Okay. So definitely do not miss tomorrow's session. I want to show you guys a couple things really quickly before we wrap up here, just to give some clarity. And again, we have 4 spots left for the one-on-ones with Danielle. So definitely join us now. And hey, if that's not right for you, grab a monthly spot. Grab a monthly spot and you can get in the strategic advisory feed literally this afternoon and go to town growing your business. Start implementing the things that you're learning immediately. Okay. So here's the deal. What we know and what you know, because you're investors and so are we, is that most programs are relying on tactics from years ago. They throw you in a Slack group, you go in a huge Facebook group, everybody's following each other. No one knows what the heck is going on. Very few people are actually getting results. We are getting in the trenches with you in Virtual Business School and Virtual Business School Gold. And we've really dialed it down to 4 key power levers. And as Danielle said already, Virtual Business School Gold is about you pulling these power levers to multiply and duplicate. It is about leverage. It is about how do you take your assets and instead of making one sale from a social media post, how do you pour rocket fuel on your strategy? And it's really going to come down to these 4 things. Your live selling strategy, which is about converting one to many and making sales every time you go live and learning the different styles of what's working now, from info sessions to light launches to master classes and even live streams. Building your upsell machine, which is all about continuity. It is about how do you drive up the lifetime value of every sale and take a $59 sale and make it a $5,000 sale and make a $1,000 sale and make it a $10,000 sale. Okay. So the upsell machine is all about duplication. It is about making it faster and easier to get clients to want to stay longer and spend more. Then we get deep into the thing that is going to allow you to build brand, become the go to authority in your space, and become the category leader that you deserve to be. And that means building an audience. People have to know from you. They have to know you in order to like you, in order to trust you, in order to buy from you. So, not only are we going to start by teaching you how to monetize what you already have and get results from the assets that you have already spent either time or money to acquire. We're going to focus on that, but then we're going to couple that with audience multiplication. That's going to be your growth accelerant. And it's really about the strategy for how you duplicate and multiply in order to achieve scale. Because now we know with this whole new model that we just taught you today that you're acquiring customers on the front end. And in many times, in many instances, you're going to get to the point where your email list, your text message list, and your live streams are going to do all that customer acquisition for you. And then you're going to use your Dream 1000 and Miracle Hour to upsell people into your $5, $10, $20,000 plus programs. Okay. What you're getting inside Virtual Business School Gold. Of course, you get everything that is included in Virtual Business School, but we up leveled and added these additional things to really take this to the 10x level for you and to make sure that this is really truly a comprehensive container. Literally, we sat down as a team, and we asked ourselves, what would we need to do for people to be able to invest in only one thing with our organization and have them to be able to grow by 7 or multiple 7 figures in their business? That is how we designed this program. We have many people over the years that have been in 3 and 4 different programs with us at any given time. We are looking to simplify, to multiply, and show you how to simplify to multiply by giving you a one-stop shop that's going to give you everything that you need comprehensively, coupled with the flexibility and the price sensitivity to meet you where you are and help you go to your next big leap with the right tools, the right strategy, the right assets to do that. So you're going to get instant access to the strategic advisory private feed. You're going to get the quarterly intensives. You're going to get monthly structured networking and collaboration sessions. You're going to get the custom sales content GPT. You're going to get the new sales template bundles, which, by the way, most people are able to make a return on investment for their product investment with us just using those templates. And of course, the live monthly experiences, which also include hot seat coaching with myself and Danielle. Okay. So as you can see, nothing is left out. This is comprehensive. For those of you that also are trying to grow in your faith journey, in your pursuit of building a 1% life, in your overall elevation as a person. I think a lot of you know this already about me, but I'm a homeschool mom, very, very focused on my own health and wellness, very invested in my faith life and all of the things that come with being a wife, a mother, and someone that has a life that I'm building alongside the empires that I'm building. There are also components that are rolling in to Virtual Business School Gold that you will get complimentary that are going to be based on my work in the Kairos programs over the last couple of years to help you to elevate your life and to have an example of how you truly can have it all, how you truly can build a rich life and a 1% business. And different mentors have very different philosophies on how they teach what they teach. I'm not going to teach you to wake up at 4 a.m. or to put dark shades on your windows or, not see sunlight or, do these crazy things. I am going to teach you how to build in a sustainable way that allows you to make time and space in your life for all of the components that matter to you and to have time for friendship and hobbies and building your business and your relationships and your children and all of those other things that matter. And that's one of the most important elements for me to share with you because there's a lot of different people that you can learn from, and you're going to be influenced by the decisions that they make and the things that they prioritize. So it's important for you to know the things that I do. Now, couple bonuses that it's important for you to know. Let me know in the chat. Are you joining us today? Let me know in the chat. Are you joining us today? Who are we celebrating? Who are we welcoming? Let me know in the chat. I want to celebrate you. I want to celebrate you. Post your questions. We are going to have an intimate in-person day on September 24th in Miami. If you would love to be in a full day mastermind with Danielle and myself, that is one of the pay in full bonuses that you get when you join us today until those spots are gone. Also, the first 6, we're down to 4 now. 90-minute messaging, positioning, offer design call with Danielle. That's a $2,000 value. The first 6 people that pay in full are getting access to that. We are down to 4 spots left there. If you're claiming one, let me know that in the chat. Let me know claiming it if you're taking one of those. There's also going to be an offer optimization intensive that is coming on September 10th. So you will also get that as a way to take what we teach you in the upsell machine training and customize it for your business. All of our members are getting as a bonus between now and when we close registration for this specific cohort, the new custom GPT that's going to help you to craft your offers and take everything that you're learning in the upsell machine and actually put it into action. And then also, if you decide to join monthly, you're going to get the full day live launch intensive that we just delivered, breaking down all the updates, all the changes, all the things that you need to know. And you're also going to get the email newsletter one that we literally just completed. This is big because this is where things are going. And this is what you're going to need to know and understand in order to implement this new model. Okay, a couple things coming up. September 3rd, we have the intensive where we are going to build your upsell machine together. So write that down. September 3rd, we're going to build our upsell machine. That is next week, believe it or not. Isn't that crazy? Next week, the build your upsell machine. October 2nd, it's going to be all about live streaming. So it is going to be about your strategy, your roadmap, the various mechanisms. We're going to be introducing the light launch, which is really what we do now. It just doesn't require all the same things that the 9-day process does when you're selling cold into high ticket. So it's a much lightened and simplified version of the live launch that you're going to be able to apply to this specific model to see those results. Okay. So why VBS Gold is going to help you to stand out from the crowd, elevate your business, get unstuck, and get growing in hyper growth. As you already know, most programs, they're recycling strategies and things that they did many years ago. They're putting you in a huge group. There's no customization. They don't know your name. You don't have a relationship. And you're watching modules that many times are very much out of date. Some of you have asked us, what is the difference between Virtual Business School and Virtual Business School Gold? So you can see up at the top here that these 4 components at the top are what you're already getting in Virtual Business School. You're getting a monthly sales training, you're getting the marketing masterclass, you're getting the Q&A, and you're getting the implementation. But when you come into Gold, you're getting all of these other components, many of which you will have the opportunity to listen in an async format, which means it's convenient, it's accessible you when you want, where you want, but it's not old course modules. And I have to emphasize that because yes, there's plenty of people you can go buy a course from. First of all, a lot of those people are now using chat to create those. But second of all, a lot of times you're buying out of date material that doesn't even work anymore. The strategic advisory feed is updated every week and it's new. It's brand new material. It's the what's working now. It is strategic mindset. It is the tactical execution. And it is the overview of how you need to structure how you're going to market to have success. Of course, you get the intensives, which we talked a lot about today. That's anytime there's something important that we feel really does require a more in-depth explanation. It really does require us to break down more than just a quick training or a master class. Then those are the things we're going to put in those intensives for you. You're getting the monthly networking session. You all know one collaboration can change your life. One business friend can change your life. One introduction, one joint webinar. These are the things that people don't realize are invaluable. And you want to be in a container where it's all people that are invested in their success. They're doing the right things for the right reason. They're taking action and they're getting results. And so you have a built-in community. You have built-in relationships with people that get it, that are doing the work that you can collab and connect with to grow together. You're going to have monthly live sessions. Every month there's a surprise and delight. So every month there's a surprise and delight. The next few months there's going to be hot seats with Danielle and I, but it'll rotate and change. There'll be a fireside chat. There'll be a bonus training. There'll be some implementation where we walk you through live generating results in real time. Of course, you get your own private Facebook group where you can network and get support from both us and from the members, the sales GPT, and the new sales template bundle drops, which I personally feel never get their due because there are so many people. If you look at our success stories and our testimonials and our online reviews for Virtual Business School and now Virtual Business School Gold, so many people will tell you that they made sales right away just using the templates that we provided. And now these chats are being trained. Danielle is really training them to be able to help you take your own customized approach to those templates and spin them for your business and make that real connection that builds the beauty of your brand, but then uses that strategic insight to help guide you along that process. Okay. So this is going to be a ton of fun for you in your business. And this is what I would say to all of you, right? Sometimes you are so in it that it's hard to recapture the vision of where you're going and what you're creating because you're in the thick of it. And let's be honest, most business owners right now, you are in the thick of it. You recognize that we are in a huge transition. There is no business owner out there, if they're being honest, that isn't sharing openly the struggles that they have been through and the challenges that have come their way in 2025. But there's really good news ahead. And the really good news is that we know that there are still hundreds of thousands of sales transactions happening every single day. And with this new model, you put yourself back on the superhighway to success. It looks different. It's a different approach. It's a different sequence of events. It's different types of orders being used in a different way, but it gets you to the same outcome. And the outcome is hypergrowth. The outcome is that you want to achieve meaningful success in your business, and you don't want to have to sacrifice all the other things that matter to you in order to do it. So I challenge you, if you're still sitting here today, you probably know that you were made for more. You know that there's a next level for you. You know that getting yourself in the right container with the right mentorship and the right support would not just change your business, but would change your life. Because let's be honest, as business owners, our businesses affect every area of our lives. So our commitment to you is that we're going to stay current. We're going to bring you the absolute best of every single week in this program. We're going to keep you ahead of the curve. We're going to give you strategies that no one else is teaching. And we're going to walk you through what's working, what's not, and how to get the biggest and best ROI. Especially what's so unique and so powerful about implementing this new model is that you can do it with very little infrastructure, very small team, and minimal ad spend. A lot of people start off doing this completely organically, and then they add the advertising to take what's already working and multiply and duplicate it, which, by the way, is exactly how it should happen. You want to get a prototype that's working, and then you want to multiply. So we're going to have a lot of fun together in Virtual Business School Gold. As you saw already, there's a lot of things that are actually happening in the program live next week, which is why we are having this conversation today. We want to help you take that empowered step. And let's just say you have a couple questions or a few things that you need to get some more clarity on. You can connect with Ignacio, Nicole, or Krista, and you can just comment now in the chat, right? Connect. If maybe you're not sure if it's right for you, maybe you don't know how you would apply it to your business. Maybe you feel a little overwhelmed in the decision. I do want to remind you all, though, something really, really important, which is that there's no contract with this program. There is zero contract. So you spending $497 to come in and to learn this whole new model and get instant access to all of these things. I mean, even if you were only here for a month, you would get the foundation of unbelievable levels of success that you've never achieved before. And then you have the power to decide every single month. And for us, it took a lot of courage and it took a lot of bravery to say, we're going to flip the script on our own programs and run them without a contract. But we are so invested in creating products that outperform expectations that we are willing to have the courage to do this without contract. No one has to come back ever, but we're going to make it so good that you can't wait to, and that you want to stay longer, you want to spend more, and you want to refer more people to this program. So I want to remind you to go ahead and get in now for those 4 spots that we have left with one-on-ones with Danielle. Offers, pricing, go-to-market strategy, messaging. It is going to give you the unfair advantage in your space. It is going to give you the unfair advantage in your space. And if you've been the person that feels like your work is never getting what it's due, this is going to give you that elevated approach that is going to make a massive difference for you in everything you do from this point forward. So grab one of those 4 spots left. We also have obviously many bonuses that we shared with you today for both pay in full and monthly members. So do what works for you, do what feels comfortable and exciting to you. And we can't wait to see you inside. Just as a reminder, tomorrow we're going to be scenario breakdowns, and we're also going to help you build yours. So you definitely do not want to miss tomorrow's session. We're going to go through scenarios, we're going to walk through examples, and then we're going to help you build yours. So make sure you join us back here at 12 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Can't wait to see you there. Welcome to all of our new members, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Thanks, everybody.